In the headlines, troops kill several bandits involved in attack on NDA Kaduna. Flood kills 3, damages 1,453 houses in Bauchi communities. Nigeria leads as Africa records 524 monkeypox infections and 12 deaths. And on the foreign scene, 5 dead in massive Papua New Guinea quake. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Updates. I am Martia Umar. Thank you for joining us. Now the news in detail. Kaduna State government says a notorious bandit, Boderi Isia, has narrowly escaped military offensive while his deadly second-in-command and several other fighters were gunned down by Nigerian army troops. A security update signed by the State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruwan, said security agencies informed the state government of his development in an operational feedback. According to reports, the troops engaged the bandit along the Tollgate General area of Chukun local government area. The bandits scrambled in retreat only to run into another ambush laid by the troops in Sabongida General area. The statement adds that troops engaged the bandits ferociously and corpses and weapons were recovered at the scene, while some of the terrorists eventually died from the bullet wounds. Aruwan said Boderi's deadly second-in-command, one Musti, was among those identified to have been eliminated alongside one Yellow May Madrid and one Dankasinawa, with others yet to be identified. Some of the terrorists are battling with life-threatening wounds. He said Musti and Boderi was responsible for the security breach at the Nigerian Defense Academy Kaduna and kidnappings of students of Federal College of Forestry Mechanization, the Emir of Bungudu, and several other citizens last year. Police in Zamfara State have arrested one of the command's most wanted suspected bandits, who is alleged to be carrying out attacks, kidnapping and cattle rustling in Anka and Bukayum local government areas of the state. According to the police, their operators also apprehended a suspected criminal who has been robbing bank customers of their money and other valuables in Borno, Bauchi, Kebbi, Sokoto and Zamfara State. The report.
The police public relations officer of the Zamfara State Police Command, Mohammed Shehu, paraded the 2 suspects before journalists on behalf of the Commissioner of Police, Kolo Yusuf. He said police operatives acted on intelligence information, which led to the arrest of one of the wanted terrorists, 31-year-old Isiaku Babangida, male who hails from Niger State. The police spokesperson explained that there was an attempt by one Alhaji Bello, suspected bandit kingpin, and his gang member, 31-year-old, to attack some communities in Anka and Bukuyam, local government areas of the state. But police operatives promptly mobilized into the troubled areas where they engaged in a gun battle with the bandits, who fell to the superior power of the police and fled into the bush with gunshot wounds.
4 days ago, because since the case was reported to the police swung into action, commenced discreet investigation with a view to arresting the perpetrators.
Mohammed Shehu disclosed that the police also arrested a criminal, Osman Umar, male, 39 years old, after a complaint by one Nura Umar of the Zamfara State Investment Department, who reported that unknown persons broke the left side of the windshield of his Peugeot 406 vehicle, stole his 3,473,000 naira and laptop.
Attached to the Zamfara State Investment Department reported that unknown persons broke the left side glass of his Peugeot 406 vehicle with registration number Abuja RSH 531 RD, and made away with his bag from the boot containing his HP laptop.
We have 6 weapons currently in our camp. I do not handle gun because my job is to guard the captives. This is my second year since I involved in banditry. I participated in 3 separate kidnapping operations, and we kidnapped 5 persons in different communities. We kidnapped 2 persons, which they spent 1 week after payment of 450,000 naira ransom before we freed them. Abdullah and I broke into someone's vehicle and stole his money. This is the first time I would engage in such acts in Zamfara State. We use iron to break into people's vehicles. I have been engaging in the act for the past 7 months now.
The police have recovered 3,500,000 naira and a laptop from the suspect, who had confessed that he has been perpetrating similar crimes in Borno, Bauchi, Kebbi and Sokoto states.
And moving on, Kaduna-based Islamic scholar Sheikh Ahmed Gumi has called on the Department of State Services DSS to either release Tukur Mamu or charge him to court. During his weekly preaching at Sultan Bello Mosque, Gumi said Mamu was arrested because of his role in assisting victims of terrorist attacks. Citing the law, Gumi said anybody arrested over an alleged crime needs to be taken to court within 24 hours. The cleric, who said God has a way of testing a believer, added that the arrest of Mamu was God's way of testing his faith, praying that Mamu would overcome it. And former Emir of Kano, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, is now the president of the Fulani Pan-African Organization, Tabitel Palako International. And the former Emir took over the reins from Ahmadou Diallo during an extraordinary General Assembly meeting in Abuja. He's expected to address problems facing the Fulani societies, ranging from insecurity, agriculture and education. Gazi Yakubu was there and now reports.
Palako International is an association composed of national chapters in 24 African countries, aiming to develop and preserve the Fulbe culture. The extraordinary General Assembly meeting is echoing the unique culture of the Fulani people as the organization elect a new leader.
The Fulanis is a peaceful people, and we want all leaders around the world to support the peace. And we want Fulanis to be protected around the globe, because they are peaceful people, they are business people, they are very, very contributor around the world today. If you see the Fulanis anywhere around the world today, they are business people, they are professors, they are very good contributor around the world.
The new elected leader has his hand full, as he is now saddled with the responsibility of tackling the challenges faced by Fulani society in West Africa.
I cannot say more because he's the new president to have to define, but the vision is to live together with all other tribes around the world, you know, to reduce the conflict between other tribes and to ameliorate our life around the world. And you know, as Fulani, we have many problems with agriculture people, and we have to manage everything. We have to make sure our young people get a good education for our future, for tomorrow.
The man, if we try to talk about him, I believe we can spend the whole day here today, because we heard about him. Even if you check his background, he won the best banking in the world, the whole world. So the Fulani is blessed to have him as a leader today.
With his wealth of experience, it is expected that he will be able to safely guide effort to circumnavigate the many issues that concern the Fulani. Gaza Yakubu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now to Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, where the Zonal Command of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, arrested a 29-year-old Chinese Gandeng for alleged illegal mining in Ilorin. According to a statement by the head media and publicity of the commission, Wilson Wajere, on Saturday, Dang was arrested on Friday and found to be in possession of crude mineral without authority. And the Director General of Bauchi State Environmental Protection Agency, BASEPA, Ibrahim Kabir, has confirmed that 3 persons died after flood damaged 1,453 houses and several farmlands in Zaki and Gamawa local government areas. Kabir stated this while briefing Governor Bala Mohammed when he paid a sympathy visit to the affected communities on Saturday in Zaki local government area. He said the flood also cut off roads linking the 2 local government areas with communities and some parts of the state. Governor Mohammed, who commiserated with the communities over the incident, called for collective efforts to address the devastating effect of incessant floods affecting communities across the state. In the absence of a bridge linking Kuruming Kaduna community to the rest of Kaduna metropolis is hindering many pregnant women from accessing antenatal care. According to residents, local boats have become the fastest means of conveying pregnant women to the hospital for delivery, but regret that many of them die before reaching the hospital. To this end, the Kuruming Kaduna, Mashigi and other communities at Hayin Kogi want government to build a bridge that will link them to Kaduna City. The report.
Kuruming Kaduna is a community in Igabi local government area of Kaduna State. Though the community is close to Kaduna Millennium City, its lack of a road hinders them from easily accessing the metropolis, hence their reliance on local boats. This river bank is always busy with local boats conveying people who use the boat for their daily activities.
I use the boat to go to the metropolis to buy bags of groundnut. Sometimes we cross the water late in the evening.
We are farmers and we find it difficult to transport our produce due to lack of road networks. We are faced with difficulties as we use boat to transport our farm produce to the market in the city. Pregnant women at Kuruming Kaduna community fear for their lives when it is close to delivery, as many deliver at home while others have to be conveyed by boat, sometimes at night, to health facilities in Kaduna City for delivery.
Our pregnant women have to cross the river to go to the metropolis for antenatal care. We do not have a hospital. Women are conveyed in boats during labor to the hospital in the city, and so are our children who also use boats to school.
Kuruming Kaduna is a community with only a primary school without secondary school. Most children in the community don't go beyond primary school, while few risk their lives daily by crossing the river to go to secondary school at Rafunguza, Kawo, or Rigachikun in Kaduna metropolis. We need a school in our community. The only primary school we have is not in good condition. We want government to build a secondary school. We have a primary school, but we do not have a secondary school. We want the government to come to our aid. Kuruming Kaduna, Mashigi and other villages at Hayin Kogi supply tomatoes and vegetables in large quantity to the people in the metropolis, but the lack of an accessible road linking the community with the Kaduna City is a major constraint to business here. Bella Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
And in another disturbing development, a staff member of the University of Benin, UNIBEN, identified as Prince Carter, has killed himself on Friday in Umelu community in Upper Sakbomba because of unfavorable financial conditions. It was alleged that Carter had not been paid salaries for months due to the strike action embarked upon by the university unions. He was a data entry personnel at the university. A professor in UNIBEN who did not want his name mentioned said that it is disheartening that they had not been paid since the strike action began. He wondered why those who called off their strike were still not being paid by government. Another colleague, simply known as Edward, said Carter on his Facebook page lamented that he could not meet his financial commitments and was finding it increasingly difficult to pay his 2 daughters' school fees. Edo State Command, a police public relations officer, SP Chidi Nwabuzo, said the matter was not reported to the police, but the DP of the area went to the community for an on-the-spot assessment where the community head confirmed the incident. You're watching Trust TV News Updates. Coming up after the break, we'll take a look at how native caps complement dressing. Details of the story and more. Do stay with us.
Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. You're still watching Trust TV News Update. A recap of our top stories. We told you that troops killed several bandits involved in attack on NDA Kaduna. And the flood kills 3, damages 1,453 houses in Bauchi communities. And moving on to other stories, Nigerian-American Vincent Omalu was shot dead and killed on August 20 in a residential neighborhood in Baltimore, Maryland, by a shooter who has remained at large. Reports said that the victim was felled by a single bullet fired into his car from a grey or silver Infiniti SUV. The police are calling the shooting of Omalu, who gained US citizenship in the summer, random. However, the victim's brother, Linus Omalu, who was with him at the time of the shooting, disputes his assertion. Linus told local news channel WJZ that the shooting occurred on East and Northern Parkway, just west of the intersection with Federal Avenue in Northeast Baltimore. He said Vincent and however, returning from a cultural meeting with other African immigrants when the shooting took place. Linus said that he had to immediately grab the wheel as he found out that his brother was hit and the vehicle lost control and crashed. The suspect drove off and has not been found since. He said he would like for his brother to get justice. And the World Health Organization has revealed that Nigeria currently leads on the log of African countries with monkeypox infection and fatalities. WHO's regional director for Africa, Mshedis Moeti, revealed this during a virtual press briefing on meningitis. As of September 8, according to the regional director, there are now 524 confirmed cases and 12 deaths across 11 African countries. Moeti said Nigeria topped the list of the case recorded and is followed by Democratic Republic of Congo and Ghana. According to her, Nigeria recorded 6 of the 12 deaths, while Ghana reported 4 and 2 recorded in the Central African Republic. Checks on the CDC Monkeypox Global Map shows that as of September 9, Nigeria has 220 infections, followed by the Democratic Republic of Congo with 195 cases and Ghana with 76 cases, while the global infections now stand at 57,527. Speaking on Africa's progress with meningitis, Group A, Moeti admitted that not a single case has been reported on the continent in the past 5 years, but the COVID-19 pandemic delayed vaccination campaigns targeting more than 50 million African children. She also noted that the major outbreak caused by meningitis group C had been recorded in 7 of the African sub-Saharan meningitis belt countries in the past 9 years. Designed to complement the costume and attire in northern Nigeria that is worn during special occasions is the cap. And in addition, cap knitting, selling and washing is also a source of employment for the thousands of youths in the northern part of the country. In this special report, Trust TV's Ibrahim Ismail examines the significance of native caps. Take a look.
Zanna Bukar, Damanga, Dara, Minister, Maropia are the most notable in the varieties of caps used in northern Nigeria, while millions of Nigerians, especially in the northern region, wear caps every day. Others use it during special occasions such as Salah celebration, Friday prayers, weddings, or other cultural events. Trust TV speaks to some Nigerians in Gombe State on what it means to wear a cap.
It's a kind of a sort of reputation. When you wear cap, people will consider you, will give you more, consider you more important and respect you more in the community. So these are some of the reasons why we do wear cap.
Individually, from the time that I start buying cap and put it in my head, I can tell you now it's about almost 20 years. And sometimes if even I went out without the cap, it's like I missed something. So cap is also part of us in the northern part of the country.
I almost spent 21 to 22 years wearing the cap because since my childhood, you know the tradition of Malam Bahaushe. So our father used to buy the cap for us in order to wear specifically for Fridays.
Meanwhile, the cap, popularly known as hula in Hausa language, has been the source of income for thousands of people in the north. From the proceeds of cap washing, I sponsored my education, support my parents, and solve other personal needs. We assemble new caps. We also knit and reshape it to fit the client. Wearing the cap is a tradition for the Hausa people because for them it is incomplete to wear the native dress without a cap. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
A 77-year-old man, Tanko Awal, has explained why he married for the first time in his life after clocking 77 years in the uphill native area of Lokoja, Kogi State. Awal told our reporter that his resident at the uphill street in Lokoja that he attempted marriage in the past but was turned down. Awal said he met his wife Ramat Umar on the road to the market a few months ago in Lokoja. He said women had been rejecting his love advances since his youthful period in life, anytime he makes a move to get married. Recounting his ordeal in the hands of women all these years, Awal stated that many just run away when he tried talking to them. Awal now works as a dry cleaner and said he did not suspect anything wrong, thanking God for giving him Ramat, whom he greatly loves. And moving on, a cross-section of Makurdi residents says services rendered by the point-of-sale operators POS in conjunction with commercial banks have come to ease financial transactions among Nigerians. Despite the ease, they also want the operators to do more to address some challenges encountered by subscribers. The report.
With the coming of a point-of-sale option, popularly known as POS, the need to travel distances to either deposit money, transfer to a third party, or even withdraw has been solved, as operators are found in every corner of the neighborhood.
Before the advent of the POS, people travel miles to access simple banking services. But with the coming of the POS, all this travel time, the distance has been taken away, because at your doorstep you consume a transaction.
Easy and accessible as the services of POS are, many have complained of some challenges they encounter while using the service. There have been cases of customers being debited without a concurrent credit on the operator's account and vice versa. These are more they say should be improved.
I had a place where I used a POS machine to purchase an item, and they told me it declined. But my account was debited, and then when I got to the bank told me the money is with where I purchased that, the thing has been deposited with them, and that was up till now I didn't get that money.
Signs on certain persons who have dubious means, instead of, let's say they want to send 5,000 naira, they will just remove a figure out of it, and it will become something, and at the end the person will be thinking that this, but later discover that the money, the amount is not the exact amount that the person has transferred.
While the operators acknowledge some of the challenges encountered in their operations, they however crave cooperation from the consumers, as most cases can only be resolved by issuing banks, while others are dependent on the strength of the services provided by telecommunications companies.
The first challenge we are battling with is this issue of identity theft. You know, in Nigeria, the identity ecosystem is not very, very robust. Up till today, people come to withdraw, and when you ask them, please, sir, can we know you? It becomes an issue. Where else in the world would somebody go to take his money from a bank and he is not ready to give his identity?
The introduction of POS is an innovation that has come to stay. And with the rise in daily transactions, especially since banks and ATMs are located in few areas, the POS has indeed become a part of our everyday living.
And on the foreign scene, a 7.6 magnitude earthquake shook Papua New Guinea on Sunday, damaging buildings, triggering landslides and killing at least 5 people, with several others severely injured. Residents in Northern Town near the epicenter reported intense shaking mid-morning that cracked roads and rattled the cladding of buildings. And local members of the parliament, Kessi Sawang, said at least 2 people had died in remote mountain villages, with 4 others airlifted to hospital in critical condition. And finally, the remains of Queen Elizabeth II left on Sunday to Scottish Retreat, where she died as the late monarch embarked on her final journey, with thousands of her mourning subjects expected to line the route. A hush fell from the gathered crowd as the cottage carrying the Queen's casket exited the gate of Balmoral Castle for Edinburgh at the start of an odyssey of mourning in the United Kingdom, culminating in her state funeral in London on September 19th. And that brings us to the end of the news update at this hour. For more, you can follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Martia Umar. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.